Yo, what's going on, my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. For this video, we're going to cover a tweet by ModPie regarding teleporting out of boss instances, specifically Araxxi. So let's get right into the video. Let's go. Alright guys, so like I said, we're going to cover a tweet by ModPie, and without any further ado, let's just jump right into the tweet. He says, something that has been really annoying me lately. Should you be allowed to teleport out of the Araxxi Lair once Araxxi's dead, rather than having to right click, leave, and then teleport to re-gear? And he actually hosted a Twitter poll asking the community basically what we think about it, and the vast majority of the time I'm making this video says yes, I don't see it turning around in the next couple hours. But yeah, looks like the vast majority of people do want to be able to tele out. It is, kind of annoying to have to right click on the corpse every time to tele out, when you can simply just use your max cape or whatever may have you. If you happen to have quick teleports or anything, to not be able to use those is actually really frustrating. Now, this tweet in and of itself is actually not a confirmation that this is actually going to come into the game. It's simply him asking whether we, what the community thinks about it. But in the comments to this tweet, somebody does ask that hopefully if this feature is implemented, that you can only tele out of the instance once you've looted the corpse, obviously to prevent you from accidentally teleing out and losing your loot. To which ModPie responds, yeah, I'll probably do that, to be honest. So based on that response, pretty much I can deduce from that this is actually going to be something ModPie is going to work into the game and have out at some point in time. And, just the fact that he's confirming that it will be a feature that will be available only after looting the corpse. So while that is not 100% actual confirmation, I think it's pretty solid evidence to suggest that yes, this is going to be something that ModPie is working on and trying to get into the game at some point. Honestly, this begs up the question, why can't we tele from boss instances at all? There's some bosses you obviously can teleport, things like Calfight King, any of the God Wars 2 bosses minus Telos, God Wars 1 bosses. There's a ton of bosses you can tele out of, but there are some that it seems arbitrarily that you can't. Things like Rago, Rots, obviously Araxxi, and I don't know. That was my biggest concern after reading this initial tweet. Somebody did comment on it saying, to be honest, I never understood why we're unable to teleport out of boss fights. The only way you can leave without dying is lobbying. It's pretty broken. I honestly share that same sentiment and really wish we could just tele out of bosses for whatever may reason. I mean, you're already forfeiting the kill to begin with. That should be in and of itself enough punishment for teleing out. Not to mention, like he said, you could just lobby, which pretty much serves the same purpose. So I honestly would really like to see the ability to tele out. Somebody actually replies to it, says, my max cape tele bind is M and my intercept is N. It saves me from accidentally teleing all the time. I've gotten fucked at KK from that a few times. To which ModPie simply responds with a gif basically saying, the fingers you have used to dial are too fat. Essentially what he's saying to the guy who has his max tele and intercept binds right next to each other is, that sounds like a personal problem, bro. Which I totally agree. If you're hitting the wrong input, that's not Jagex's problem. Which also makes me think, based on that response, is that ModPie maybe to some extent does share the sentiment that we should be able to teleport out of bosses, and may end up being something that he implements in the future. That's not 100% confirmed by any means, that's just my deduction. But I would really like to see that into the game. I really don't know why we can't. It just seems like an arbitrary reason. Maybe it has something to do with the way the boss fights happen, because in those boss fights where you can't tele out, a lot of the environment shifts or changes in some fashion throughout the duration of the fight, and that may have something to do with the code and why maybe a boss can't respawn after you tele out or something, which is why they prevent teleing out. I don't know. But at the same token, that being said, you can just lobby out of those instances, which does reset that instance so you can just go right back anyways. So I really don't know why. I wish there was some kind of explanation as to why you can't tele out of those bosses to begin with. And if we ever get that or not, ultimately allow us to finally teleport out of those bosses. Would really like to see that. I'm going to be watching ModPie's Twitter closely to see if we get any responses or, any information regarding this going forward, because I really want to see that finally implemented in the game. Being able to teleport out of these boss instances would be a really nice quality of life fix. That being said, let me know what you guys think about it. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I am out. Peace.